What innocent thing did your parents hide from you that came back 20 years later? My mom always told me the locked drawer in their bedroom was just boring tax papers. I was 8 when I asked about it, and she laughed it off. Nothing interesting, just adult stuff. I believed her and forgot about it. 20 years later, Mom passed away from cancer. Dad asked me to help sort through her things while he handled the funeral arrangements. The grief was overwhelming, but going through her clothes and books felt like one last conversation with her. When I got to their bedroom dresser, I noticed the bottom drawer was unlocked for the first time ever. Inside were photo albums I'd never seen before. My hands shook as I opened the first one. There were pictures of a little girl who looked exactly like me, but it wasn't me. She had my same brown eyes, same crooked smile, same dimple on her left cheek. The photos showed birthdays, Christmas mornings, first steps. Her name was written in my mom's handwriting. Emily, age 2. I found baby hospital bracelets, tiny clothes that would have fit me as a toddler, and birthday cards addressed to Emily. At the bottom was a small funeral pamphlet dated 1995. I would have been 3 years old. My chest felt tight as I walked downstairs with the album. Dad was sitting at the kitchen table, staring at his coffee. "Who was Emily?" I asked. He looked up and his face went completely white. He set down his mug with shaking hands and motioned for me to sit. "Emily was your twin sister," he said quietly. "She died of SIDS when you were both 3. The room started spinning. I had a twin sister who died and nobody ever told me. Dad explained that after Emily died, Mom fell into the worst depression he'd ever seen. She wouldn't eat, wouldn't sleep, wouldn't leave Emily's room. The therapist back then told them never to mention Emily around me because it might traumatize me or confuse me about death, so they packed away every trace of her. Photos went into the locked drawer. Her clothes were donated. Her crib was dismantled. They made it like she never existed, thinking they were protecting me. We were going to tell you when you got older," Dad said, but then years passed and it felt too late. How do you tell your teenager they had a twin who died? Suddenly, everything made sense. I remembered having an imaginary friend I called Emmy, who I talked to every night until I was about 5. I used to set out 2 cups when I played Tea Party. Sometimes I'd wake up and feel like someone had been sleeping next to me. Mom used to cry when she caught me talking to Emmy. Now I knew why. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about all the signs I'd missed. The way Mom's face would change when I played alone, talking to someone who wasn't there, how she'd sometimes call me by the wrong name, then quickly correct herself. The time she bought 2 identical Christmas presents by mistake and got upset when I asked about the extra one. I spent the next week going through more boxes Dad had stored in the garage. I found Emily's first pair of shoes, still in the box, a lock of her hair tied with a pink ribbon, ultrasound photos of both of us before we were born. 3 weeks later, I found Emily's grave in the small cemetery across town. The headstone was tiny and simple. Emily Harper, 1992-1995, always our sunshine. I sat there for 2 hours, telling her about my life, about college, my job, the girl I'd been dating. I told her I was sorry I didn't know about her sooner, sorry no one had visited in so long. I go back every month now with fresh flowers.